Hey, what's up, my friends? Much love. Good morning to you. It's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful morning. The sun is just coming up. We're out here in the early morning. It's about 37 degrees. We're hiking down to the bottom of this canyon where a couple of weeks ago I stumbled across some amazing things. We found some ruins that are in a cave down here. And they're a lot different in nature from what we're used to finding. But today we wanted to get down to them. As a few days ago, me and my cousin came out here. We made a makeshift ladder with some wood that was laying around in order to climb up into these ruins. So today, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to share these things with you. A couple of weeks ago, I was out here walking around and I came out to the other side right here on this ridge, and looking across the canyon to this side over here, I found some amazing things. Stumbled upon some ruins that are in a cave. So basically what we got to do is we got to walk out to the end of this mesa here where we could find a place to get down to the bottom, and then we got to come back up the canyon to these ruins that are down in the bottom here, about halfway up the cliff. Spring is starting to spring. You can finally see that the grass is getting green again out here. I love it. Got a pretty cool standing rock here. It's huge. So we're coming out towards the end of this mesa. Right down here. And then it drops off, and that's where we're able to get down. You can see there's some large cactuses. Be careful, son. Good job. All right. So as you can see, we've made our way about halfway down. As the canyon bottom is down there, we're about halfway up, going back the way we came on this lower level here.
It's like a staircase,
Getting closer. Very interesting piece of sandstone here. So as you can see, we made our way to it, and it's a large cave. And up in there, you can see there's a little bit of a wall poking out. It's made of wood. So we're gonna get up there and get a closer peek. So here we have our cave. And inside there you can see there's a very unusual wall there. So stuffed down in this crevice, we see there's a lot of wood that is stuffed down in here. What I believe is this is a lot of wood that was probably used in the construction of this site when it was first made, probably several hundred years ago. And what we can see and what we can know is that people that came before us used a lot of this wood with some old wire, and they had constructed a ladder in an attempt to get up into this place. So what we've done is we went down farther. We gathered up some wood down here. As you can see, there's more pieces here. We took 2 posts that we found, and we constructed a ladder. As you can see here, we got this ladder here that we've thrown together with 6 steps in an attempt to climb up into this ruin. So we're gonna go ahead and get up there, see what's inside. Okay, so now we're gonna head up our little ladder that we've made. It's kind of sketchy, however, still yet good enough. Okay, we're up. What we can see is that there's some carved out pieces in the rock here for extra steps to get up the rest of this ledge. And here we have our wall. You can see what I was saying. It's kind of just wood thrown together with some old mud. It's likely that it could have extended in the past, perhaps even across this whole cave. So what we can see as we come up in the mouth of this thing is that there's been visitors to this place before. That's who I believe constructed the first ladder out of all the old wood that had fallen out of here. What we can see is that there's TWM 1953. Just down next to it we got 1954 EFE. We got CT. And then coming over this way, there's one that says Leroy 1992. Down below that, there's a JL. This is either 1994, but it looks more like 1999. So I believe that's who constructed the first ladder that we've seen laying here. Kind of tied together with old wood that likely washed out of this place. And they had used wire to kind of tie some sticks together in order to get up in here. But looking at this wall, you can see it's made out of very old wood. You can see old axe marking. That's from an axe, I'm sure. There's no archaeology hasn't been here because there's no dates taken from this wood. There's no tree ring holes for tree ring analysis. But what we could see is that there's still fingerprints in this mud here. Really amazing. You can see there's still fingerprints there on this old mortar. And most of it has come apart. So we look around, you can see there's bats that live in here, as there's bat waste here on the ground. Coming up into the cave, you can see it doesn't go that deep from behind the wall. But we got here what looks like a out digging of an old fire pit. It's pretty large in there. Looks like some critters have probably spent the night in there a time or two. Coming around, we see there's a large hole in the wall here, and it goes really, really deep. You could see down it quite a ways. Really sketchy. I think that's where the bats likely live. As we look with our flashlight, yeah, this is absolutely amazing little dwelling here. Looking out, you can see there's a road down in the bottom of the canyon there. Getting a look at the back side of this wall, you can see it's really dark. Taking a look at the back of this wall here, you can see it's just mostly just sticks leaning up against the roof of this cave, kind of intertwined together with mud just thrown on it. And it's likely it was probably a lot better in the past. We of course got a pole going up to the roof of the cave here. Perhaps it went across the whole mouth right here of the cave. Maybe even had a doorway in the past. And a lot of that wood that we're probably seeing washing down the canyon was probably the rest which fell out of here or was destroyed by people in the past. But we find this amazing. This seemed kind of like a quick, temporary dwelling, kind of just thrown together, although we may be wrong. So anyway, we wanted to share this amazing place with you, looking out across this canyon from inside this cave. You can see the blackened wall and the blackened roof from the fires that were made in here in the past. Another thing we kind of noticed is that there's no pottery or anything like that laying around. We haven't seen a single piece of pottery or anything else like that anywhere. Our whole hike down here. Down here on the bottom ledge where the ladder is, you can see there's another hole here that you can see where large fires were made. Still some very large fires were made, as you can still see some of the coals. You can see the blackened roof. We haven't found no pottery whatsoever, no petroglyphs whatsoever.
Whoa, that rock just broke.
This dog climbed up this cliff. You mountain goat boy. We're coming. He's crazy. Good boy. Stumbling upon this unique site was truly amazing, as I wasn't even looking for it when I found it. But I sure am glad that I did, and I sure am thankful that I was able to share it with you. As we paid it a visit, and climbed up in there, I couldn't help but wonder, who was it that actually built this place? Who was it that actually called this place home? Was it the Navajo people? Or was it a people from a time earlier than that? Perhaps the Anasazi? Or could it have just been a group of outlaws in the 1800s? As we sat there underneath the mesa top in the side of the canyon in a strange cave, gazing upon a unique wall different from all the ones we had seen before. We were left with more questions than we had answers. The lack of pottery and the lack of petroglyphs in this specific canyon had us questioning if it was actually Native American people who constructed this home. It definitely seemed to be defensive in its nature, but nevertheless, it was an amazing place to come across, an amazing place to find. And as we continue to enjoy the history and the secrets that the canyons and the mesas hold, as the sun beats down year after year, we look forward to sharing our adventures with you as we continue to explore the North Central Southwest. And we sure appreciate those of you that are watching. Much love.